So the July event is officially over. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot that happened in this conference. I want to go over all the official announcements, the pacing, etc., when it comes to this event, and go over my personal opinions on whether or not I thought this was a good show. But before we get on with the video, definitely hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the video. You can always subscribe to the channel for weekly content, and you can follow me on Twitter at LordAddictIOP, and you can also click that bell icon to get notified when I make videos. Without any further ado, let's get on with the video. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Ad here, coming at you for another video. Clearly, in the intro, we're going to talk about the Xbox Showcase event that happened today, July the 23rd. Going to talk about my personal opinions on it. Now, let's go ahead and just get straight into it. Now, let's talk a little bit about the pre-show. I'm not going to go too much into the pre-show because a lot of the news that was in the pre-show wasn't really relevant to myself, but we'll go over one of the things that I want to point out. On December 4th, Dragon Quest is coming to the Xbox platform, and not only is it coming to the Xbox platform, it's coming to the Xbox platform via Game Pass day one. Look, Dragon Quest has never been on the Xbox platform, so it's nice that they're finally coming to the Xbox platform. And not only is it coming to the Xbox platform, but you can actually just download it on Game Pass if you have a subscription to the service, and you can play the game. The rest of the pre-show was definitely underwhelming to me. It wasn't a lot of good information. Now, I will put in the comment section below, you can go down there and you can click that, and it will show you the entire list in that description if you're more curious on what else was in the pre-show. So let's go to the main show. Obviously, they would start this with the game that your boy Addict said, Halo Infinite. Now, let's point out a couple things about the graphics and the gameplay. Now, the graphics definitely looked a little bit weird in terms of textures. There's a lot of really funny screenshots going on. I'm sure if you're on Twitter in any form, you have seen these screenshots. Now, I do want to point out that this isn't the final build. It could have been an older build. Regardless if it's an older build, I don't think that's an excuse. This is the first time you really show gameplay, so they should have made sure that those textures were there. But hopefully, with the game still having a couple months before release, they could get those out. If not, Microsoft, just delay the game. There's no reason to hurt the brand that made you come all this way just to have it come out the same day as the Series X. A couple months delay just to make sure the fine tones are put on there and make sure all those textures are where they should be. It looks like ray tracing might be delayed. I don't know how that's going to work, but you know, it's like I said, Microsoft, delay the game if you have to. Do not force this game out just because you want it out with the Series X, but that's just my opinion. Now, with gameplay, it does look like that sprinting has returned and aimed out sights have returned, but besides that, I don't see any of the other movement that was implied into this game with Halo 5. There was a lot of things that was put in Halo 5 that some of the Halo community didn't like. For instance, the grounded pound, they didn't like that. Some people didn't like the dashing that you did with the Spartan suit, and they didn't like the Spartan charge. It does look like 343 has removed all of that from the game, and I'm a little indifferent about it. I did enjoy these aspects of Halo 5, but I do know that a lot of people would prefer them not in the game, and I'm okay with that. I never really cared if they were in there or not, but I do feel like 343 needs to stick to what they want to do, and they need to stop reacting to the community so much. Now, let's go back to the way that Halo used to be. That's fine, but just because you did this, do not change it up again 2 years later. I want you to stick to one type of gameplay and keep that type of gameplay. Now, the next one kind of surprised me. They actually had a CGI for State of Decay 3. For those of you that know, I'm a huge fan of the State of Decay franchise, but I understand that the number 2 was definitely underwhelming in terms of what they promised compared to the first one. I'm kind of curious on exactly what they're going to do with State of Decay 3. Now, we did see a little bit of animals in here that were infected, so we've never seen that in State of Decay. So I hope maybe with the, you know, the proper budgeting that they get from Microsoft, maybe some better equipment in terms of what the studio can output, that we'll see a true next-gen State of Decay feeling. And I'm okay with that because I did enjoy the State of Decays, and I think that the franchise has a lot of potential, and the foundation's there. They just need to build on it. There's a lot of racer fans out there. I'm not one of them. I really don't care for the genre whatsoever, but they showed Forza Motorsports. Now, what's interesting about this is they didn't have a number beside it. So it kind of makes me think think that they're going to rebrand this. It does look like it's an Xbox Series X exclusive, so it's kind of interesting. I did expect that to be like at the beginning of next year, but considering they're doing that, I won't even consider it a next year release. Maybe it's at the end of next year, or maybe the beginning of the following year, which is kind of interesting because we're going to go another year without Forza. But hopefully with this time off and the new rebooted franchise, they can do a lot of justice with this game. Rare was there. They didn't show Sea of Thieves like I predicted in my video, but Everwild was here, and they showed another CGI with no gameplay. I do think that this should have had some form of gameplay because it does seem like a lot of people don't know what this game's really about. So what they could have done is showed gameplay to let the players exactly know what type of experience they expect from Everwild. We know that Sea of Thieves is extremely popular, and I do feel like this game is going to be just as popular, if not more popular. But I do feel like as a consumer, as a gamer, and as an Xbox gamer, we all wanted to see more in terms of what the game is going to play like and the kind of experience you're going to have with Everwild. Now, a new trailer for Tell Me Why was here. Obviously, they're going to be capitalizing on their global publishing a little bit more often. I do expect that from here on out, but you know, this particular game was one of the first ones they did. They showed a new trailer for it. It looked good. It doesn't really look like the type of game for me. The only game I've really liked from this studio is Life is Strange, so I hope everyone that likes this game is coming to Game Pass day one, and I'm sure a lot of people will enjoy playing this game. Moon Studios was here. Kind of surprised me, but it wasn't here for a new announcement, no new game or anything like that. They're actually saying that they're going to be supporting the Xbox Series X in a big way. We're going to be seeing a 4K 60 frames and even 4K 120, which is kind of interesting. I don't really have anything to be able to play 120 frames like that, especially on a TV aspect, but I know a lot of people that this was important to. The more frames, the better. I'm always 4 frames over resolution, and I'm happy that Moon Studio showed up and showed the capabilities that Ori and the Will of the Wisps can have on the Xbox Series X, because a lot of people do want to see a little bit more performance in terms of games. So arguably one of my favorite studios was definitely at this event. Obsidian Entertainment showed up in a big way. They showed up with an expansion for the Outer Worlds. They showed up with another trailer for Grounded. And I kind of hoped that Grounded wouldn't be here at all, but they redeemed themselves. They showed their brand new IP, Ovid or Avid. I definitely butchered that, but I'll put the trailer in the description so you can pronounce that for yourself. But this game definitely gives me that Skyrim feeling, and I'm very excited because at the end of the day, if I know anything, is that Obsidian is going to give me an experience, an RPG experience that I will love probably going there on forward, because they showed me with the Outer Worlds, they showed me with the South Park Stick of Truth, they showed me with Fallout New Vegas that they can make just about any RPG you can think of, and I'm hyped that they are owned by Microsoft and they can give me this experience that they might not necessarily been able to give me without Microsoft's money. Next one was another indie. It was a game called As Dusk Falls. It's one of those with those global publishing that Microsoft's been really pushing. It does look like a cool little interactive movie. Maybe not for me, I don't know. It will be in Game Pass, so I might try it when it comes out and review it on the channel, or at the very least talk about it in some way, form, or fashion. But that was there, and if you enjoy those type of games, I definitely would encourage you to go look at the YouTube video. Ninja Theory was here with Hellblade. Hellblade 2 was definitely here, and it was not here in a way that I would have preferred. I'm not a big fan of Hellblade, but I know a lot of people love this franchise, so I did expect the next time we see Hellblade would be some form of gameplay. We didn't really see any of that here. I'm kind of confused why this was here in general. It could have been a YouTube video or a tweet or something. They really just promoted the behind the scenes on what they're doing to make the world that is going to be in Hellblade. It's going to be in Iceland, and I felt like that's not enough information to show at this event, but that's just me. I wanted them to sell me on whether or not I should try to get my feet wet into this universe again, but they failed to do that for sure. Double Fine was here, and they didn't show new IP. All they showed was Psychonauts 2. Look, I'm not saying I'm not a big fan of Psychonauts, and actually that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not really a big fan of Psychonauts. I'm not really a big fan of Double Fine in general, but I do notice that they have a following, they have a cult following, and I'm sure a lot of people enjoyed what they saw. I particularly wasn't one of them. It wasn't for me, but I do see that this has a following, and I'm sure a lot of people will enjoy playing these type of games on Game Pass, and I hope the best for you, man. Definitely go in that comment section below and watch that YouTube trailer. Bungie was here, which it didn't really surprise me in any way that Bungie had some form of presence in here. And for those of you that's been following me, I'm a huge Destiny fan, and you know that I keep my eye on the Bungie scenery. I do kind of always thought that Microsoft has secured the marketing rights, and I do feel like this shows that there's a good chance that they have it. So Destiny 2 will be coming to Game Pass, and not only is Destiny 2 coming into Game Pass, but they're also going to be having the future expansion Beyond Light when it does come out November the 10th. It will be in Game Pass day and day. So the next about 30 minutes of the show was a lot of, timed exclusives that are coming to the Xbox platform and the Xbox Series X. So we got Stalker 2. I'm not really familiar with this brand, but what I've been told is it's a popular game on PC that's finally making its way to console. It's going to be on the Xbox Series X, and I know a lot of people that are very excited to play this on the platform. And we got Warhammer. I have no idea what this game is. I'm not going to try to front to you guys in any way, shape, or form. I will put it in the description below if you want to go check this game out, see if it, if it's something for you. It definitely didn't seem like it was something for me, but it is coming to Game Pass, and it is on the Xbox Series X. It's timed exclusive, so I'm curious to maybe try it out when it does hit Game Pass. And then for some reason Tetris is in this event. I have no clue why Tetris is here. I do know that Tetris has a huge fan base and a lot of people seem to love Tetris, but to me, I couldn't tell you the last time I talked to someone about gaming in general and they just randomly say, you know what I played last night? I played Tetris and it was lit. But that's just me. I feel like this could have been in the pre-show, but that's my opinion, and I just feel like in terms of the audience they're trying to reach, Tetris was not one of them. So now we have something called Gunk. It's another timed exclusive that's coming to console. Clearly a lot of these games will be going to the PlayStation platform eventually, but right now it looks like it's going to be an Xbox Series X exclusive. They also showed the Medium. It was a game they showed back in May. I kind of figured this would be back in here. They did show a huge amount of gameplay for this game. It didn't look anything extravagant, but it did look like it has an audience, and that audience will enjoy this game. It looks like some form of Phantasy Star, maybe a new game or an expansion is coming out. It's called New Genesis. Like I said, I don't know too much about this franchise, but I do know that there's a huge demographic of people that wanted this game on consoles, and it's finally coming out to consoles, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to enjoy whatever this New Genesis is. It's going to be in the comment section below, so definitely go check it out if you want more information on it. And then finally, Crossfire X, they showed the campaign to this game. Now, I'm not going to say that this looked anything like spectacular for me. It looked like something that would be a solid experience on the Xbox Series X. It looks like Remedy's making the campaign of it, but it's not something I don't really think I'm going to really try myself. But it's like I said, Game Pass will make you try anything just about. And then finally, we had the first trailer that we've seen on the new Fable that Playground Games is working on. It looked like a good trailer. I'm not going to say that I was extremely impressed by it. I really just wanted the initiative that, we are working on this game and it will come out in the next couple years, and they gave me that. I do think the next time they show Fable, we need to see a little bit more in terms of what the world's going to look like, and it does look like that we're going to see a Fable that has a little bit more of a cartoony look, but it does look like they met us in the middle and it's not going to be entirely cartoony. I don't know about the humor yet. It clearly might be there because of the whole toad eating the fairy thing, but that is to be continued until we see more information on the Fable brand. All right, so let's talk about the show. My opinion on the show. I thought it was a good show. I thought this was Microsoft's attempt to say, we're going to be one of the most diverse platforms you can be on. They got a genre for just about anyone, and I think that's something that the Microsoft brand needs, especially for Game Pass. Speaking of Game Pass, it was clearly the focus in this show. It looks like it's been the focus for Microsoft for the past couple years. Game Pass isn't going anywhere. The entire platform is being revolved around Game Pass, and I think you can see that going from here on out. But it's like I said, the show wasn't bad. The show wasn't amazing either. I thought it was a great show. I thought it showed me plenty of games that I should be looking forward to being an Xbox gamer, and I'm looking forward to it. I want the Obsidian game. I want the Fable game, and I really enjoyed what they showed on Halo Infinite, but I will admit that they need a little bit more time working on this game. If this game cannot be ready by launch of the Xbox Series X, Microsoft, delay it. Do not sacrifice Halo just to have it out for the Xbox Series X on time. But that's the show. That's exactly what I had on the show. Now tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think this is something that you guys would invest into an Xbox Series X? Did this sell you on that platform in general? Kind of curious what you guys have to say in the comment section below. But anyway, until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.